Keep this conversation going. Military analyst and retired General Blaine Holt, representative for NATO as well, Secretary of Undersecretary of Defense and former Secretary of the VA, Robert Wilkie. Sorry, guys, a lot of titles there.
Happy New Year.
General, go to you first on this one. We've seen this escalation in Iran, obviously around Soleimani's grave. They're pegging it on Iran they're pegging it on Israel because they probably just want to start more stuff with Israel. False flags, would it be past Iran to do this in order to engage further?
No, would not be past them at all. This could be a false flag, but the net result is the same. So you've got 160 million people in Iran for a population size. Only 50% of those are Persian, and of the Persians, only a fraction of those actually support the Ayatollah and the ruling body. So could they have had an organic terrorist event? I don't know if it was ISIS. It could have been anybody. But would the Iranian government do it? Let me just say this from a strategic perspective. If Iran did set up a false flag, then what forces in Israel and the United States have to do is consider that Iran is going to make a strike here soon. And that's not limited to the Middle East. That could be here on our own soil. So we should be in a heightened state of alertness for what Iran is going to do next, or Hezbollah.
Sure. But Secretary Wilkie, the bigger issue here is that Iran has been backing a ton of things. Look, when I was in Iraq for all the time that I was there, almost all, universally all, the IEDs, most of the ammunition, most of the weapons were paid for, supplied by, trained by Iran. Now we have them funding Houthi rebels that are launching rockets at U.S. ships. Look, we recently took a few out. It's a good start, but we're not doing anything to deter these people.
Well, absolutely. And as the general said, that the Iranians are only going to get bolder. I mean, we know where the Houthi launch sites are. We know where their ships are. Any other president would have already taken those out. And if you don't believe me, go back in our history to Thomas Jefferson, who sent the Navy and the entire Marine Corps to level Tripoli because of the same actions taken by Muslim pirates in the 19th century. Weakness begets attacks. And this is why we're in such a dangerous spot. I'll give you another quick example. The Israelis sent a nice get well message into a Hamas conference room in Beirut day before yesterday and killed senior leaders. What does this administration do? It went right to the press and said, we don't agree with this. We weren't notified, as if the Israelis are going to tell this administration in advance of something that big. The irony is that it was Donald Trump who put a $5 million figure on the life of that Hamas terrorist. Even Barack Obama called him a global terrorist, and this administration won't even thank the Israelis for eliminating him.
Yeah, but General, we find Putin aligning with Iran here. He said, we strongly condemn terrorism in all forms and all manifestations. Now, this is crazy to me. Like, I'm not losing any sleep over anybody in the Iranian regime that chants death to America.
That's right. You're not, but at the same time, Putin and Iran now have a pretty tight relationship, albeit in a military alliance over Ukraine. So it's going to be in Putin's interest to go ahead and take that opportunity to back them. He is mopping up in Ukraine right now because of a Middle Eastern war. So this benefits him greatly. And at the same time, he's providing Hezbollah with missile defense and other weaponry. So Putin's got a hand in all of this stuff. And this administration won't even recognize that alliance. And they won't recognize that Iran, who they've been helping get billions of dollars in cash, is the progenitor of all of this.
Yeah, shocking. Secretary Wilkie, last 30 seconds to you.
Well, look, the world is exploding. Another example, Carl, is in Venezuela. President Trump isolated Venezuela, isolated Maduro from the rest of South America. Biden lifted the sanctions, tried to get oil from from Venezuela as we were closing down our oil production. And what do we have now? Brazil is mobilizing its army, and the Chinese and the Russians and the Iranians are propping up Maduro.
Yeah, well,
in our own backyard.